Hello and welcome back to my channel. Joe was just saying to me before he switched the camera on, oh, you're wearing the jumper you mentioned last week, so I just mentioned that. This is the French Connection jumper that Joe found in TK Maxx last week, and yeah, what was it called? Nocturnal. So I think it's like a midnight navy, but it's so soft and nice and it's actually really warm. So I put it on today because it's a really cold day in Nottingham. Okay, I'm back from group. I'll give you my results in a little while, but I just wanted to show you a few things first that we've actually come across this week. We're always looking to broaden our horizons with regard to what we eat and drink, and looking for what I would call, quotes, healthier alternatives or tastier alternatives. And one of the things Joe found this week, and he's had it, I haven't, is organic wild pheasant. He's actually had it for breakfast this morning, haven't you?
I don't know if it was organic, was it? It was just
yeah,
wild.
because it's Abel and Cole,
Yeah.
so it's got to be organic.
Bloody good.
There, you see?
Yeah.
You've got the honest opinion, it was bloody good.
Nicer than chicken.
And how did you cook it?
Just in the frying pan.
What sort? Just sautéed it?
No water or anything. Just
No fat?
It didn't stick. No.
And
No,
it was,
I think it has a bit of natural fat to it.
right, and it tastes nice.
Yeah, it was great.
So, like what? For anybody who's never had pheasant, it
I don't
tastes
know.
like
I'd
what?
just describe it as like a slightly sweeter chicken. Well,
But
a slightly
darker meat than chicken.
Not really. Not much.
Okay.
It was just like, yeah, I don't know. It was really nice. It's similar to chicken, but
And
just a bit more kind of.
tastier.
Yeah. It was more like succulent and a bit like less dry than
Yeah.
chicken.
And that was from Abel and Cole, the organic people in Hull who deliver all over the country. And I think it was £5 something for 400 grams, wasn't it?
I can double check.
He'll be double checking while I'm talking. So that was Joe's find of this week, pheasant. I didn't have any because I've had it before and I don't dislike it, but I'm not the biggest meat eater, so I chose not to have any. He had it for his breakfast with black pudding and mushrooms. So his diet is a wee bit different to mine. Okay, this week we were in Sainsburys, and we do buy quite a lot of bottled water. We have water filters, but we also buy quite a lot of bottled water. And Joe drinks it. I'm not going to pretend I do, because I did share 3 or 4 weeks ago that Joe bought me 12 bottles, 12 330ml bottles of Evian. I've still got 11 of them. So don't ever be fooled that I drink a lot of water, because I honestly don't, and I'm not going to kid anybody. What Joe's found this week is he likes some of the sparkling waters. But he doesn't like them fully sparkling. He will get rid of a bit of the sparkle so it's not too gassy. But 2 bottles that he found this week, and I don't know if I've got these the right way around, Joe. One's actually lemon water,
Hold it by the top, please.
and the other one is mint water.
Hold it.
Yeah?
Yeah, don't drop them. Yeah.
Okay. So one's lemon water, one's mint water. They're 99.9% water, carbonated water, and mint flavouring and lemon flavouring. And I did try both, and they are really nice. And in fact, the mint one is quite unusual, isn't it, Joe?
Yeah.
Because
I didn't expect the mint one to be like it is. It is really. It's like mint that you get out of the garden.
Yeah, it leaves an aftertaste of fresh mint in your mouth. I'm not saying if you'd had garlic it would do the trick and clean your mouth up, but it actually was very pleasant. You don't think of mint as being sort of... Mint's usually something we take, don't we? We've got acid indigestion or something. Or you like me and you like a packet of Polos. But, well, you used to like a packet of Polos. But that was actually really nice. And I think that's £1 a bottle, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then the other thing, if you want to carry water with you, if you want to carry a drink, I mean, a lot of people will carry a can of Coke or a can of Fanta or something. But if you're not into fizzy pop, we found these. Can you put those in the right place?
Yeah, it's pretty much perfect.
Okay.
One second. Yeah.
That's lemon, yeah?
left is lemon.
This is lemon.
Oh well, it's the camera's right.
The camera's right. And the other one is orange. Now these are sparkling water in a can. So if you want a can of something in your car, in your bag, in your gym bag or whatever, and you, like I say, you don't want to drink fizzy pop because it's not for everybody, I think these are good. They're a nice size. They're similar size to a can of Coke or something.
Yes.
But you can actually just have it in your bag a lot easier than you could have a litre bottle of sparkling water. They
Both
work
of
out,
those don't have artificial sweeteners in or anything. It's just flavoured with essences.
yeah, and no calories, totally no calories. And we liked them both, didn't we?
Yeah.
They're
I'd
not
say the mint one
overpower-
was the best.
The mint is the best of the four. The canned ones are not overpoweringly flavoured, so you're not going to open a can of the orange water and think Tango.
Yeah, it's not sweet like
It's
pop.
not sweet like that. It's sparkling water. But what I liked about them was the convenient size for carrying with you rather than carrying a big bottle. And if you've got kids and you wanted to share one of those with your kids, I think kids would like them. Right, a couple of other things this week that we've been trying. Quite a while ago, or months and months ago, Andy Nev mentioned on his channel about kimchi. And I'd never heard of it, so I asked Joe what it was, and Joe told me. And you were more into sauerkraut, weren't you?
Yeah, I like sauerkraut. Yeah.
But this week we found kimchi in 2 different places. Now, the first one that Joe bought in the health food shop was like £5 off, quite a big jar.
I've got the jar still.
Oh, you can show the jar. I didn't like that one. It just about blew my head off.
Hot.
It's hot. Hot doesn't describe it. Hot doesn't describe
it. You know, it's looking nice.
Hot doesn't describe it at all. It's mind-numbingly hot.
I'm
You're going to hold that in the
it,
camera? But that one actually has fish sauce in it. And after I'd got over the initial, oh my god, I can't breathe, it's so hot, all I could taste was like the aftertaste of prawn crackers. And I didn't like it. It tasted too fishy for me. You liked it, but you, in all honesty, found it too hot.
I liked it, but I prefer sauerkraut, yeah.
Yeah. But then we found in Sainsburys earlier in the week, can you hold this one in the right place?
Yeah.
Now, what country's that one from?
This is Korean kimchi.
Korean kimchi. Now, that one I do like, because it doesn't have, it's not so hot, and it doesn't have the fish sauce, and it would be free on Slimming World. Can you tell us the ingredients, Joe?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just getting the camera to focus on the label. Right, okay. It's got cabbage, water, radish, garlic, onion, chili powder, salt, carrot, ginger.
Now, for anybody who likes things like Tesco's do a pink slaw and a red slaw, if you like that kind of thing, if you like pickles and you like things that are a wee bit salty, I think you'd like the Sainsburys kimchi. And that is £2.75, and you find it in Sainsburys where you find all the makings for sushi. So it's by the sort of healthier stuff, isn't it? Can't think what that section's called.
It was by the herbs and spices.
By the
in
herbs and-
ours, it was by the gluten-free stuff and the herbs
That's
and
what I mean,
spices with like the
healthy
sushi rice and sushi rolls and
Yeah,
it, like if you're looking for the like the stuff to make sushi.
to make sushi, it's by that. But that one is nice. I could eat that.
Like
It would be
wasabi
lovely
and
with cold cuts of meat, or well, anything as a little.
That one wasn't nearly as hot, was it?
No, that one didn't blow your brains out. And I think you just need like a good forkful on your plate. It's kind of a side. It's a dressing or a condiment rather than a salad. Like if I had the red slaw, which I like from Tesco's, I could eat the whole tub. But I wouldn't want that much kimchi. Just a forkful on the side as a compliment or condiment is really nice. The other thing this week, and I think, did you buy both of these in Asda?
No, I bought the top one.
Right.
Asda.
These are brown rice noodles.
Yeah, lift them up a little bit. Yeah.
Now, the reason Joe buys brown rice noodles as opposed to white rice noodles is because they've got more fibre and they don't burn off as quickly when you eat them, is that right?
The carbohydrates just break down slower.
The breakdown
Digest slower,
yeah. So brown rice noodles, they're free on Slimming World, and it does give you portion size on the packet.
But they're, like we buy these things because they're gluten free as well.
Yeah, thanks.
Because we don't do pasta, do we?
Yeah, Joe doesn't do gluten, so he has to have gluten free, and they are naturally gluten free. And then so are these, and these are, well, I find anything with buckwheat I like, but buckwheat noodles. So if you want a change from your typical spaghetti or rice or whatever, another alternative, then if you cook these and then rinse them in cold water and then throw them into stir fries and things like that, they're really nice.
But we both really like buckwheat because it's nice and nutty, isn't it? Like
Yeah, because Joe can't eat nuts. Whoops, there goes one of the bottles. Joe can't eat nuts, but he can eat buckwheat, which tastes nutty. So, and what's the other thing you eat that tastes nutty? The nutritional yeast.
Yeah, that's more cheesy.
Cheesy nutty.
Yeah, it's more like cheese and nuts.
Would sprinkle onto
well, I just
food.
yeah.
Or dip vegetables in it.
Yeah.
Another health thing because it's full of vitamin
Goes
B12.
nice with cauliflower. It's a bit
one.
like no, it hasn't got B12 in it. It's B vitamins, not B12. B12's from animal products.
Oh really? See, I'm hopeless. I thought it was B12 that was in.
No, B12 is the one that like vegans all miss because they don't eat cheese or.
So that's not in nutritional yeast.
No.
It's B vitamins.
Yeah, but you can buy B12 that's enriched with. You can buy nutritional yeast that's enriched with like synthetic B12.
So that's what I bought this week for somebody.
Did you buy that one?
Did
Yeah.
I?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah, you can
anyway,
buy both.
yeah. Sorry.
So if you're not a meat eater and you want B12,
While we're off on one, the pheasant was $5.49 for 400 grams.
Yeah.
Back on track now.
back on track now. So there's some of the things we've been liking and enjoying and buying this week, to try and keep variety in this plan, because the one thing I know for sure is that I'm on this plan for life because it improves the quality of my life and improves the quality of my health, but I don't want it to get stale or stagnant. So it's really nice to be picking up different things. I mean, one of the things we found a little while ago, the Aunt Bessie's sweet potato jackets and things like that. It's the time of year when those sort of things come into their own. I mean, we've been making more sort of stew type, casserole type things this week. I mean, Joe made a really amazing chicken curry the other day, because when the weather turns to the cold weather we've got now, your mind turns right away from salad. If it was ever on salad in the first place, I don't do salad, so I can't ever claim that I eat salad in the summer because I don't like salad. At this time of year, I hear a lot of people in group, and I've heard a lot of people on social media saying it's hard because it's cold and you want comfort food. And I think that's one of the reasons that Slimming World have brought out this new cookery book, the Comfort Food Collection, because they are well aware of how we react in the cold weather. And I've found this week that eating things like chicken curry and that, which I don't tend to eat with rice, I would just have a big plate of chicken curry, but I do put sweet potatoes, butternut squash, all sorts of vegetables, swede, carrot, onion, turnip. You can get everything in there that is my idea of comfort food. As I was saying to Joe when we were out walking the other day, if I desperately needed a comfort meal today, I would not be leaning towards bars of chocolate that like the old me would have done. I'd be leaning towards sausage, jacket potato and baked beans and things like that, and plenty of it that is warming and filling and stodgy and comforting. So my idea of comfort food has changed completely, because before I started Slimming World, my idea of comfort food would have been a big family size bar of, and I mean that size, the biggest one you can get, of Cadbury's whole nut, followed by a packet of 4 crunchies and then something else, maybe 3 walnut whips. And a big pork pie. He knows me really well. That was comfort food to me, that's what I lived on. I mean, as I went out the door to group this morning, we were talking about, I can't remember what we were talking about. I would becoming you are what you eat, and that's what I want to talk about in a bit. But as we went out the door this morning, you said something about the fact that I never ate vegetables.
Yeah, not even
a
2 years ago.
Before I joined Slimming World.
Literally up to the week before you joined Slimming World.
So 2.5 years ago. What did I eat?
Chocolate and pork pie.
Yeah. And
hot chocolate.
And hot chocolates.
Chocolate pork pie and hot chocolate.
Hot chocolates that were £3 a time in the shop in town, and I used to have 5 or 6 a week, didn't I?
Yeah, and then you'd eat my chocolate, the
free
free chocolates that you
came
got with it,
it,
and then you'd buy 2 more.
So I'd have 4 chocolates with mine, and he'd have a black coffee because that's what he drinks. I never ate an apple, I never ate a pear, I never ate a strawberry, a raspberry, a peach or a banana. I never ate a carrot, an onion, a turnip, a parsnip, all the things I eat today, except I'm not really a big strawberry and raspberry fan. I never ate any of that because I just lived on chocolate and pork pie. And people...
Every time I'd recommend you eat some vegetables and stuff, you'd snap my head off. Just about bite it off.
Because what did I say? I don't like them. I really
you leave me alone, I don't like it.
That's what I was like. Because I thought it was like, you're bullying me, leave me alone. There's nothing wrong with what I'm doing, you're bullying me. That's really what it felt like. And he was having a go at me because he was worried I was going to get ill because I wasn't eating anything that was remotely healthy. And I used to be so aggressive because I felt like a victim. I was a victim. I was a victim of my own choices, and I was getting fatter and fatter. And then I had lost at that point about 8 stone, and I was really in danger of piling the whole 8 stone back on again, because my eating had gone awry again. I mean, I started this weight loss journey as a pork pie and chocolate freak, and I lost 8 stone by leaving those things aside or moderating them, but I still was not eating healthily. And I think the point Joe made this morning that I found really interesting was, yes, Mum, you lost weight, and you weren't eating the quantity of the bad stuff that you used to eat, but you weren't healthy. And you can actually lose weight and still be nutritionally barren, can't you?
Yeah.
I mean, what's the expression when people say, you know, what does it mean when you've got no goodness going into your body? People will say malnourished. That's exactly what I was looking for.
Like you can eat 2,500, you could eat 5,000 calories of sugar, but a day. But at the end of the day, do that for long enough and you'll die.
Because you are malnourished.
Mm.
And even though I had lost 8 stone at that point before I joined, 8.5 stone before I joined Slimming World, I was seriously malnourished. My skin tone was grey. My eyes were dull. My hair had no shine.
Your nails were
My nails,
rubbish.
awful. And grooves in my nails, and they never grew. Now I cut my nails every week because they grow like wildfire. I used to have my hair in like a shoulder length bob with a fringe back in those days, but it was dull and lifeless, and I used to spend ages trying to blow dry some life into my hair or spray it with this and get some shine into it. Now I'm in a situation where I've got the confidence to have a short haircut because my face is not like a massive balloon anymore, and my hair grows so fast I have to have it cut now every 4. I can't go more than 5 weeks without a haircut because it grows so fast. And my hair feels healthy, my nails feel healthy, my skin feels healthy, I feel healthy. And that's only because of the way I eat. But I'm going to touch back on that after I've given you my results, because I'm conscious that some people might be waiting to see how I did this week and I'm waffling. So I went to group this morning. I have gone back to my going out for lunch at Perkins way of eating. So I've had 2.5 healthy extra A's every day this week, and I've had 2 healthy extra B's. And I'm going to explain to you how I use my healthy extra A's, because this is part of my journey and that's what I talk about. I love coffee. I love to drink big mugs of coffee, but I love a milky coffee. So it's no good saying I could put 50 mils of milk in coffee. I like 100 mils at least in my coffee. So I have 1 healthy extra A of skimmed goat's milk, which is the most delicious milk I've ever drunk. That's 400 mils. I have half a healthy extra A of that, so it makes it up to 600 mils. And then I use 1/3 of my other healthy extra A, which is another 133 mils for milk, and I have 30 grams of feta cheese with the other 2/3. So for my 2.5 healthy extra A's, I have 733 mils of skimmed goat's milk and 30 grams of feta. That's the maths of it. But that suits me because they're like nothing better than a big mug of milky coffee. I have 2 healthy extra B's every day. I have had 15 sins every day. But none of those sins for me are made up of sugary products because I don't eat sugar anymore. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm not judging you if you do. I'm only telling you what I do because that's all my channel's about. So when I come on here, what I'm really doing is reiterating to myself what I've done this week and how my life has been affected this week and the choices I've made this week, and then reporting it back to myself in a sort of diary journal form via video, so that if I want to, I can watch it back and I can see where I was at. Somebody in the week had said they'd watched my me and my boy video, and she said it made her cry. So I actually went back and watched it. It's the first time I've watched it. That video was 18 months ago, and it was me and Joe. And it made me cry because I realised, because I've got that journal in effect of my week 18 months ago, it made me realise how far I've come in that 18 months and what a different person I am today. Anyway, results at group. Stood in the queue, perfectly comfortable, feeling fine in my clothes, feeling happy with my body, got on the scales and lost £1. So I am back to the weight I was a fortnight ago, which is 8 stone 12. Yeah, 8 stone 12. I was right. I'm back to the weight I was a fortnight ago, which is where I'm comfortable. I've eaten really well all week. I've enjoyed every mouthful of food I've had. And every cup of coffee. So I do drink approximately 2.5 litres a day, but it's not water in isolation. It's water made into milky coffees, which is fine for me and would be no different from me making it into squash. So whatever works for you, if you can find a way to do it that you know you can sustain and be consistent with, and that you can imagine still doing in 5 years' time, then I think that's the way to go on this plan. Because everything I'm doing today I'm happy with. Everything I'm doing today I'm confident I can still be doing it in 5 years' time. But if I suddenly think to myself, do you know what? I don't fancy feta cheese today. I've always got an alternative in the fridge. I can have something different. So I've always got choice. And that's important. Don't get bored with anything you eat. Don't keep thinking, it's Saturday, on a Saturday I must have. It's great to have a plan of what you're going to eat, but it's also great to be flexible, and it's great to try new things. And one of the things we've been talking a lot about this week as we've walked our 45.47 miles is what I see as what I eat today being the building blocks of what my body and mind are going to be in the future. Because our body is rejuvenating itself all the time. Nothing in your body, I believe, is more than about 7 years old, because everything, your skin, the skin is the largest organ in the body, but it's renewing itself all the time. Your hair's actually dead, but it's growing. Your organs, your liver, your kidneys, your every organ, your heart, they're all being renewed and refreshed. I don't know the medical terms for it, but they don't just stay as they are. They do change. And I really firmly believe, after some stuff I've been studying lately, that I can influence how my body changes by the fuel I give it to work with. So if I was choosing, like when I was the big, fat, morbidly obese, and I'm using the word fat because I'm talking about me, I'm not using it in a disrespectful way about anybody else, but when I was the big, fat, morbidly obese Jane and lived on pork pie and chocolate, all my body had to work with was pork pie and chocolate. And what it recreated as me, the living Jane, was very grey and dull looking, because there was no good, valuable nutrition in it. Whereas what I eat today, fresh fruit, fresh veg, healthier alternatives, healthier choices, is actually building a better body for myself, better skin, better hair, better nails. As I say, I have to cut my nails every week because they grow like wildfire. I put that down to what I'm eating. I bet I never used to cut my nails in 3 months when I was as big as I was, because there was nothing feeding them. I was a mess. I was a physical and mental mess. And I want to emphasise, I was a mental mess in those days. I spent all of my waking hours thinking about how I could avoid life. Now I don't spend so much time thinking. I react or act on things. I don't react to things in the way I used to. I act on things. And I actually spend positive thoughts on doing good things. Maybe for myself, maybe for somebody else, but actually doing the best I can today. The old me used to spend hours of energy and thought avoiding life. How can I get out of going to that party I've been invited to because I'm too fat and I've got nothing to wear? And anyway, they'll all be standing around drinking all night, and I can't stand up for 3 or 4 hours in a party situation. I need to sit down. How can I get out of going on that shopping trip with my friends? Because they'll all want to go into a communal clothes changing room and try on lots of clothes, and I'm too fat, there'll be nothing to fit me. How can I get out of going to that dinner party at such and such a house because her dining room chairs have got arms and my backside won't fit in those chairs? And you know the mental energy that goes into all of that thinking, and how anxiety making that all is. I would have told you back then that I suffered from anxiety. I did, but was self-imposed, because I built that in my head until it was out of proportion. When Joe was little, how can I get out of having to walk Joe to school because I was too fat and too heavy and too uncomfortable, and I'm too bloody lazy, bottom line. I didn't want to do it. So my friend who lived across the way, sometimes I went, but mostly my friend who lived across the way would call with her little girl and pick Joe up and walk him to school. Looking back on that now, I missed out on so much joy, because it's joyful to walk your kids to school. It's, as Rebecca says, the little joys in life that make the big differences. And I cut myself off from so much of that. And at bottom line, it was the way I was eating that caused me to be the person I was, which then knocked on into my mental health and caused me to be the negative, the idle, the bone lazy person I was. And I'm so grateful today to be free of all that. I'm grateful today that I do not react to things. I act on life. It says in the Bible, let your yes be yes and your no be no. And a friend was saying to me at group this morning, I was in a difficult situation. We went to a neighbour's house for a drink, and they kept saying to me, have a glass of wine, have a glass of wine. And I was desperately trying to think of a reason why I couldn't. So I said, but I'm driving. And they said, you live 3 doors away. And she went, I'm driving later. Like I've got to pick my son up from somewhere. Desperately trying to. And I was laughing, and she said, it's all right for you to laugh. What would you have said? And I said, I would have just simply said, no, thank you. And I tell you what today, I don't need to justify it. I can just say no thank you. And if anybody takes offence from you saying no thank you, that's their problem, not yours. Because we don't need to justify why we eat the way I do. If I came to your house and you offered me a slice of chocolate log at Christmas and I said no thank you, that's an end to it. I'm not rejecting you, I'm not rejecting your chocolate log, I'm not rejecting your hospitality or your generosity. I'm just making the right choice for myself today. And that's another freedom I found in Slimming World. I can make the right choice for myself today around food. We were in Aldi yesterday, and I picked up a little tub of chocolate macadamia nuts to put in a birthday gift with some other things this week. When I got home yesterday, I said to Joe, where's the chocolate macadamias? And he went, I'll give them you when you need them. And I'm smiling because I'm thinking he is worried that I'm going to eat them. You could surround me with them. I might like them, but I'm not going to eat them because I don't need them. I'm not saying if there was a bowl full, I might have 1 or 2 at Christmas or something, but I don't need them. Thanks to Slimming World. Anyway, I'm going to go. Got to get on with my day. Got stuff to do. But thanks for listening if you got to the end of this video. And have a good week. Remember, it works if you work it, won't if you don't. Cheers.